So whatever community you belong to, I'm not interested in that, to be very frank with you. I meet millions of people. Whatever the community you belong to, you may be Hindu, you may be Muslim, you may be Christian, you may be Sikh. The last thing and the first thing that you must have in your mind is India. If that Englishman thinks about India, why shouldn't we think is the real problem? This has got to be done. And thereafter, let me tell you one thing, I've faced about 29 to 30 transfers in 36 years. But I've never compromised with my principles. No question of dilly-dallying with values. And that is where, in fact, I tell you, that is why I am here. And I can speak with that confidence. I met another great giant, and that was Kurian, Dr. Kurian. I went to, in fact, Gujarat, that Anand dairy. If you see the dairy, in fact, let me tell you one thing, you will be awestruck. No other word than this. 25 crores rupees worth milk is being collected every day. Just think of it again. They showed me that, in fact, for 6 months they can supply cheese to whole of India and outside also. But how it started? And Dr. Kurian went to England. One thing, as an Indian, they ill-treated him. That he was a second-rate, third-rate man. Because he went there as a mechanical engineer. And at that time, he had that, in fact, in his mind, he had a dream. He had that vision that one day, in India, we must have excellent day. And he said, what nonsense are you talking, Korean? The Thames gutter water is better than your milk. Dr. Kurian kept quiet, got determined. And when he came back, he said one thing, we will start, in fact, a dairy in India. And with Patel, he started that. And today we are exporting, in fact, cheese, then butter, and even remember milk to England. What can one man do? And remember one thing, whenever somebody tried to intervene, Indira Gandhi told that man, don't interfere in Korean's work, otherwise you will be out of ministry. She created that stamp of quality. If you create that stamp of quality, I am very sure that one day you will succeed. There is nothing so difficult about success. Our great Christian spoke about corporation, social responsibility. I knew Kerala very well. I knew Nani Palki extremely well. I must have taken dinner with him 500 times a day. In fact, half of my body is a Parsi body, I guess. But the main thing that impressed me when I went to Jamshedpur, imagine corporate social responsibility. Tatas were the first to give the, in fact, 8-hour work. Tatas were the first. Then secondly, every week a holiday, they were took, in fact again they were first. Then they were started giving, in fact, pension. Number 3, corporate social responsibility. Then housing complex. If you see the Jamshedpur, you don't feel that you are in India. Now that is the difference that has made. This is the corporate social responsibility. Do we treat our country like this, as if it belongs to us? This is my country, and because of this country we all exist. Remove this country and we have no existence at all. And therefore I feel that all of us must see, if you want to become good entrepreneur, you see a movie, English Winglish. A lovely movie, I tell you. Since that lady doesn't know good English, she's being insulted everywhere. So she's an excellent entrepreneur. Kanga didn't know English much. English is a means to an end. It is not an end in itself, remember one thing. So don't have that inferiority complex. You must know English very well, no doubt about it. But that doesn't mean that it should stop your entrepreneurship. No question about it. And if you do these things, I am very sure that one day you will certainly succeed. In fact, I personally feel that India suffers from one disease. And this is right from our top leaders to the bottommost Pandu Havaldar. And that is, the disease is, we want everything free of cost. मराठी में हम उसको या हिंदी में बोलते हैं कि फोकट का डिसीज हो गया हमको बस. Everything we want free of cost बस. Some dose, some help, somebody giving, but I tell you, we will not make that. Why I respect Lieutenant? Because after doing his double graduation, this man doesn't go to Tata. He doesn't go to RBI. He doesn't go to LIC. But he forms, in fact, he goes to a small company where the investments are made. JW Morgan, I think subsequently that was the company. So why not? In fact, start something of your own. And today you can see the phenomenal progress that he has made. And if he had not made, remember one thing, if he had not made the honest way, I wouldn't be anywhere near it. He has made it a very honest way. I know it very well. Because before I strike friendship with anybody, we generally know the entire horoscope of that person that we. Which is a planet which is powerful and which is a planet which is not powerful, we know. So sometimes I tell you, our leaders are also aware. Inamdar se baat kare, thoda sa chupchap se baat kare. So that's why that is the difference he has made. And if you have that innovation, if you have that hard work, I personally feel that you will do very well. I will lastly tell you a story of Alexander the Great. When he was dying in Babylon, Alexander the Great called his generals. The conqueror of the world called the generals. And when he called the generals, he said, I have 3 last wishes, and you must fulfill them. He did not do anything. Alexander was, in fact, a great leader, let me tell you this. And the first thing he said, tomorrow or day after tomorrow I will die, because he died very young. He was hardly 31, 32 years old. And he was crying at that time that he could not conquer the world. The first thing he said, recall the best of doctors, and they must carry my coffin. The best of doctors who have, in fact, attended me, who have, in fact, done everything, who have done medicine, call them here tomorrow. When I die, they must carry the coffin on their shoulders. And number 2, on the path on which my body will be taken, my entire wealth will be laid, including diamonds and rubies and pearls and everything. And thirdly, my hands should be dangling from the coffin, the third thing he said. And they should be visible to people. So what the general was quite bold and courageous. He asked the great Alexander, what are you saying, but what is the reason behind it? He said, let the world come to know that the best doctors also cannot save you from death. And that's why I want the doctors to carry me. The second one, yes, I have collected the world, in fact, the riches and the wealth from the world, but this is of no use. Because ultimately we have to leave everything here only. And thirdly, my hand should be dangling. Why? Because I came empty-handed and I am going empty-handed also. All of us will be going to do the same thing. But what you earn in between the name, this is the most important thing in life, is that earning name. And here is the one man. People must, in fact, all the time point at you and say, here goes Mr. So-and-so, very respected person. He did not care for this. And if you do that, I am very sure that all of us will do extremely well. Lastly, I will only say that I have again a share to want. Because what must undergo a change? The change is in fact the law of life. Change has to be there. So if all of us think today that the change is essential within, it must come from within, then the change will take place. And the change beautifully, it runs like this. सोच बदलो सितारे बदल जाएंगे. Every like this only you have to think. What is innovation? Is the thinking only. What was Tata doing? Thinking that yes, this is the best place to go. सोच बदलो सितारे बदल जाएंगे, नजर बदलो नजारे बदल जाएंगे. कश्ती बदलने की जरूरत नहीं. कश्ती means the boat. And this country, कश्ती बदलने की जरूरत नहीं, रुख बदलो किनारे बदल जाएंगे. Change our look, let us change the direction of the ship, and I am very sure that all of you do very well. In fact, I congratulate all the prize winners, and I hope one of the prizes should have been given to the chief guest also. I think Clifton will take a due note in the next function. But thank you very much. It was a great pleasure seeing you.